So for the past few days, SoFi has been closing below $20 a share and has not been having a good time at all. And a lot of us are taking assignment on our put options, if you're anything like me at least. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my strategy moving forward, especially for the coming week. And if you drop a comment down below, you're going to get my high IV playbook, perfect for those of you getting started with selling options. Just drop a comment, I'll send that over to you. And while you're down there, I'd really appreciate you hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and of course, I hope you're having an absolutely God-blessed day, guys. But today, we have to continue talking about SoFi because I ended up taking some assignments across the board. I got some assignments at 20. I got some assignments at 21.50. I got some assignments even at 23. And how do we manage this? And I would love to hear in the comments if you took some big assignments. I wanted to make this video because I saw so many comments in our groups, in our private groups, and in the comments here, people taking assignments across the board here, especially across the tech sector. And today I'm going to be talking about kind of like my strategy on how I kind of manage a position when you're assigned and the stock is currently trading below what you were actually assigned at. And right now, at least for me, I'm assigned above to $19.61 a share across all of my SoFi shares. Now, first thing we have to all understand is let's remain calm, okay? We all have to just take a deep breath and remain calm and go back to our original plan, okay? What was your original plan with this trade, okay? Do you still believe in this company? Do you still believe in the fundamentals of this company? So in terms of SoFi, obviously that's what we're talking about today, my fundamentals really don't change much. My belief in this stock does not really change much. Why? Well, I look back at the strong financials. I look back on the past earnings. Was there any red flags? And I go back to, I'm like, okay, a $1 billion quarter, million new users added, amazing guidance, stock has been plummeting in its butt beat down since. Does that make logical sense? No, it does not make any logical sense. Are the fundamentals still strong? Yes. Do I still believe in the company? Yes. That's where I go back. So then in my mind, I'm like, okay, if all those things are true, at least for me and my personal belief in the stock, obviously go do your own research on it, I start to think, okay, what's my next steps? What is my next plan going to be to either get more into this position or how can I manage my risk on my current position? Okay. So first things first, what's going to happen for me at least a Monday morning is I'm going to start doing covered calls immediately. Now, if you don't know what a covered call is, I'll quickly go over what that is. So basically, I'm going to own 100 shares come Monday morning at 21.50. Okay. That's what I'm going to own them for, trading at 19.60. There it is, right? I'm owning them. Now, the first thing I'm going to go look at on the Monday morning is look at my covered call positioning. So I'm going to go to my trade options. I'm going to click sell a call, and then I'm going to look first at the weekly because I personally have been doing a weekly wheel on SoFi where I have a cash secured put and a covered call expiring every single week, and it's been really good for me the past few months. But then obviously on the downturn, right, lots more assignment. It's not necessarily as easy to do puts and calls at the same time than when we're kind of like ping-ponging back and forth between this volatility. There's always a time and place for everything, right? So coming back over here onto the options chain, I'm just going to quickly look at the weekly. I'll probably end up honestly going out one more. So I'll probably do like a bi-weekly right now just to collect as much premium as I can, especially if I'm trying to get to at least a 22 or a 21.50. So here I am looking at the 13-day one. I look first at the 22 because obviously I want to collect as much premium as I can. And right here, you could see that I'm only collecting about $17. Let me move this out of the way, guys. $17 of premium. I'll toss this into my covered call calculator, guys. All my calculators are free for you at the end of the Ark Options Strategy workshop. Attend it, first link in the description. Plus, you'll get my trade logs and both these premium calculators for free. So I'm only collecting $17 of premium here. My strike of the option is $22, and my purchase strike price is $21.50. Okay, my purchase strike price is $20.50, and I get just about under a 1% return in a 2-week period. Is it great? Not really. Not really appealing to me whatsoever at all, to be honest with you. So what am I going to do next? Well, we did close green this past Friday, so who knows? In my mind, I'm like, okay, we closed over 1.5%. Maybe we'll also see a little bit of a run on Monday Tuesday morning, really. If we see a nice run on Tuesday morning, then we can jump into it maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll be able to get those 22s and collect more premium. Nothing matters until that first hour of trading to see what we can actually get. I'm just showing you what I'm thinking about. But let's say it's kind of flat for the most part, Tuesday. And what I'm going to do is not obviously take this trade. I'm looking at the 2150s for 2 weeks out, but I really want to capture some more appreciation profit. I don't want to just sell my shares if it's avoidable at 2150 that I got assigned at 2150. Now, a lot of people, and I'll talk about this in just a moment, what they'll do if they really want to get out of position. So I was assigned at 2150. My cost basis is $2,150, but I have collected like a lot of premium along the way. So let's just call it, let's just call it $150 in premium, right? So my actual cost basis for the shares is $2,000. So then, yeah, I could go in here and be like, okay, I'll do the 20s, and then I'll collect even more premium on that, like $70, $75 of premium. In my opinion, I don't like to look at it that way because I'm an income-focused investor. I look at my asset value and then just the income that I get off that. I don't like to look at it as like I'm using it to dollar cost average down or reduce my cost basis to zero, as some people like to talk about. So I don't really like to factor it in unless I really don't believe in the fundamentals of the company and I want to get out. So for example, a position that I'm in right now is not really that great with Kraft Heinz, right? I got assigned at like 26 and I was been factoring every month. I've been running my covered calls, and now guess what? I'm able to do my calls at 25 now because of my cost basis has slowly over the past 4 or 5 months slowly kept going down, and I'm able to now I actually just did a 26 covered call, right? Because my cost base is now above it. So I was able to manage it. The thing is, when we manage these positions, guys, we got to just think long term here, okay? Don't just think, I need to get out of this trade right now. Think about long term, right? Because even if you're able to, withstand some crappy premium for the course of a month or 2 or 3 or 4, you're effectively lowering that cost basis down of a stock that you're trying to get out of. Now with SoFi, again, the point of this video, I'm not factoring it in because I don't mind that I got assignment at 2150. So I'm not factoring my premium, like trying to get out of this stock unless something crazy, some really crappy news comes out, something I don't agree with, whatever it might be. So in this specific case, I'm looking at it as like, hey, this asset I spent 2150 on. I'm not factoring my premium into it, and I'm going to try to at least get some appreciation profit at 22 or 23. Worst case, 2150 if we continue to plummet downwards. Okay, but coming back onto the options chain, I'm going to go look out at the 30 to 45 days. I will look out this far, even with a SoFi, even though it's being extremely volatile. And on this is where I'll be like, okay, well, what are the 23s looking like? Okay, it's a 21 delta. I'm collecting about $40 of premium. Let's say $40 of premium. Go back to a covered call calculator. $40 of premium, and we're getting, what was it, the 23s here? Okay, so I'm capturing potentially some more appreciation profit here. Okay, not this. This is a trade that I would strongly consider. And the reason being, it hits my personal financial target that I like to be at on my trades of around 2%. It's not ideal. Of course it's not. I'd rather be exactly at 2, if not more, but I'm giving up a little bit of that premium to capture a more appreciation profit on the trade. So I could collect if SoFi recovers to 23 in those 30 days, I sell my shares, I'll capture $150 in appreciation. Obviously I collected around the $40 of premium up front, and I made a nice trade of around just about 9% in a single month. And that's how I look at the trade. Am I happy with that? Yes, I am. I'm very happy with that. Now, of course, so if I can recover and get back to the all-time highs, and I miss out on all the gains, but again, in my mind, I'm thinking as a income focus. I focus on cash flow as an income investor, and I don't care about all the other what ifs that can happen in the market, because as we have seen the past few weeks, right, I'm sure a lot of people wish they sold and were doing covered calls along the way, selling their shares, moving into different opportunities, as opposed to now getting really, really burned with potentially owning shares that are at all-time highs, and they're going to take a while to recover. And this goes back to why coming back to Ark picks, if we believe in the fundamentals, we have to trade and make decisions off the technicals. You don't have to, but it helps get your cost basis as good as good as possible, right? Because for example, the 2150s, I was riding SoFi down, right? I wasn't selling SoFi puts when it was at all-time highs at the top of Bollinger Band. So even a 2150 assignment, I'm below my 50-day moving average, I'm below my 200-day moving average, and I'm slightly above the 300. So I'm kind of playing between the two, and I'm fine with that with a stock, especially a stock that I have a lot of high conviction in long term. Now, how about the puts? Because right now, this is the time, if you believe in SoFi stock, that put premiums are insane. They're very, very juicy. Take a look at the trade idea here on ArkPicks.com. This is just showing us about a 41 DTE, a 5% return on collateral. Obviously not financial advice, results vary. These are just what we're seeing on the options chain at the time we're recording this. It's a little bit further dated out, which is fine, but we're getting a 5% return on collateral for the 18s. I cannot believe those words are even coming out of my mouth. For the 18s on SoFi, for a 5% return on collateral. And I usually like that especially. So what am I also going to be looking at this week? I'm looking at hopefully getting into some of those 18s. I would like to get into some 18s, maybe some 1750s. I don't need to have an insane return on my collateral here, guys. If I'm hitting around that 2 to 3% mark, especially with a SoFi on my monthlies, I am already very, very happy, because that's typically anything above that 2.5%, 3% in a month. That's a high risk play no matter what anybody here tells you. But I dive way more into this, guys, on the Ark Options Strategy Workshop. Attend it this weekend. Click the first link in the description of today's video. It's 90 minutes long. Perfect if you're a beginner with all of this stuff and you want this broken down in plain, easy to understand English. And at the end of it, I give you all these free resources, my trade log template, as well as my 2 premium calculators. You'll find that link as the first one in the description of today's video, guys. Remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.